I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left
Well,
2 days
I tell
early. You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well.
White supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
white
Proud Boys.
supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years. Not a right-wing problem.
This
is a left-wing.
FBI director
This
said
is a left-wing
problem. White
Go ahead,
supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what his
It's an idea.
Wake up, world. It's your host, Malik Boyd. Welcome to another episode of Decoding the Debate. This is the day after the last debate of the presidential election for November 2020. Obviously, there is much to talk about, but more importantly, I need you to know the facts, not the fiction, so that we can prepare properly and have all the information we need to make the right decision as a shareholder in the greatest corporation in the world. With me today, I am excited to have none other than G.K. Butterfield. He is the Chief Deputy Whip. He is a long-time congressman, one who has made an amazing impact in our country and the past chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Welcome home to Hart City, Representative. Good to have
you. Thank you, Malik. Thank you so very much. Let me say good morning to you and all of our listeners in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia is on fire. Obviously, the major media outlets showed up yesterday for debate parties. They've watched our electorate, how they've interacted. Most here, obviously, is a Democratic city, are with Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. Nonetheless, there are undecideds in the space. Pennsylvania is up for discussion on both sides. And so it's important that every voter has the right information. Representative, you've been through this process. You've seen elections time and time again. And more importantly, you've gone through what they call the sausage making process, getting key legislation done. Talk about what you saw in the debate yesterday. And more importantly, what can happen in a Biden-Harris administration.
Well, let me tell you, Malik, I have been involved in every presidential election beginning in 1968, and I've never seen anything that even compares to what we are seeing right now.
Wow.
I watched the full 90 minutes last night of the debate. It was absolutely disgusting to see that Donald Trump was trying to become someone else last night. America knows who he is and what he is. I call him a carnival barker. He just barks. He just barked for 90 continuous minutes about everything that just popped into his mind. Contrast that with Joe Biden last evening. Joe was very sober. He was very thoughtful, and he spoke directly to the issues. I support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, have since the very beginning. And so I want to reach out to all of my friends in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania to let you know that the eyes of the nation are watching what you do in Philadelphia. Make no mistake about it. That's why Barack Obama came to Philadelphia the other day. The eyes of the nation are watching you. You know why? Because in 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote across the country, but she lost the Electoral College. She lost 3 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Because of those 3 states, she did not get the 270 electoral votes that she needed. She fell short in Pennsylvania. And as you know, Pennsylvania has 20 electoral votes, and we need those 20 votes. We need them to be counted. And so I ask you, on behalf of members of the Congressional Black Caucus, on behalf of my good friend, Congressman Dwight Evans, who I serve with every day, on behalf of Democrats all across the country, we need you to be involved in this election in a way that you've never been. Now, let me tell you, in the very beginning, we demanded that Joe Biden not only talk the talk, walk the walk, but he put in writing what his agenda for Black America is. And he has done that. It's called the Lift Every Voice and Sing document. It can be found at joebiden.com/Black America. He has put in writing in detail what his plans are when he is elected president. We told him that we need low interest loans for Black-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. There are many Black-owned businesses there in Philadelphia, and we have convinced him, and he's agreed to do it, to put $100 billion in low-interest loans to African-American-owned businesses. We want to create more wealth by creating the opportunity for Black home ownership. And so now we have in writing in the document a $15,000 down payment tax credit for people to buy their first home. We want to continue to build on Obamacare. We want to create jobs. We want to raise the minimum wage. And equally as important, probably more importantly, we need to reform the criminal justice system in America. I don't have time to go through every verse of the agenda, but I want you to go look at it for yourself. That's what Joe Biden has committed himself to. Our job in the Congressional Black Caucus is to make sure that it happens, and we will. Now, early voting has started there in Pennsylvania, and I want you to understand that the deadline to request an absentee or mail-in ballot is 5 p.m. on October 27th. Any registered Pennsylvania voter can request a mail-in ballot. You can mail in the ballot. You can return it to your county board of elections drop box. There's a drop box there, and you can do it anytime before Election Day. But your ballot must be postmarked by Election Day and received by the board at least by Friday after the election. And so this is a big deal. We've got to have a 100% turnout in Philadelphia. We are counting on you on behalf of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We want you to fully participate and be heard in this election. We cannot allow Donald Trump to occupy the White House for another 4 years. We cannot absorb that type of shock to Black America.
Let's talk about Congressional Black Caucus, because I think many voters, they hear the term, they hear the organization, but they fail to understand the impact of Congressional Black Caucus and its role in advancing the agenda. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. We all know from our civics courses that there are 435 members who serve in the House, 100 in the Senate. Each chamber meets separately. In the House of the 435, you should know that 240 are Democrats. That means we have the majority. It only takes 218 votes to get anything passed in the House. We have 240. We run the place. We are in charge of the agenda in the House of Representatives. But where we come up short, we are not in charge of the agenda in the Senate. Democrats only have 47 seats in the U.S. Senate, and it takes 51 in order to get anything done. And so as we pass legislation in the House, Nancy Pelosi is our leader, Steny Hoyer, Jim Clyburn, I am the chief deputy whip. As we pass legislation in the House and send it to the Senate for their approval, it goes in the trash can. But you know what doesn't go in the trash can? It's Donald Trump's nominations for federal judge. They are put on a fast track and they are confirmed. You must know that Donald Trump has confirmed 300 federal judges over the last 3.5 years, 300. Not a single one has been African American. And he's very strategically putting these federal judges on the bench. Most of them are under the age of 50. They will be there for the next 30 years. And they are interpreting laws that are going to set us back for a generation. And so what we must do is to take back control of the Senate. And we've got a plan to do that. We must hold on to control of the House of Representatives. But the Congressional Black Caucus is very much a part of the 240 members of the House Democratic Caucus. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, there are 55 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. You back out the two that are in the Senate, Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, that means we have 53 in the House. 2 are non-voting members. That would be Stacey from the Virgin Islands and Eleanor Holmes Norton from the District of Columbia. So we have 51. We have 51 voting members of the House Democratic Caucus out of 240. That means that we are 22%, more than 1 out of 5 in the Democratic Caucus. And so when we speak, we are heard. And so what we want to do is to grow our numbers. It looks like we're going to pick up 3 or 4 new seats in New York. We're going to pick up seats in other places in Ohio and in Virginia, North Carolina. We're going to pick up seats all across the country. The Congressional Black Caucus will grow in its membership. Not only do we have a large number of Democrats in the House, but several of our members are now chairpersons of the major committees. Maxine Waters, you see Maxine on TV all the time, chairman of the Financial Services Committee. Benny Thompson of Mississippi, chairman of Homeland Security. Eddie Bernice Johnson, chairman of Science, Space, and Technology. And the list goes on and on. We have 4 or 5 African Americans who chair committees. In the next Congress, we will likely get Congressman Greg Meeks, who will chair the Committee on Foreign Affairs. We are very much involved in the Democratic caucus. And when you have these type numbers, then you can influence the outcome of legislation. And so we can pass legislation in the House. You look at the CARES Act that we passed a few months ago and see all of the things that were included in there for enhanced unemployment and rental assistance and all of that. It was the Congressional Black Caucus that pushed these things into the legislation and demanded that it get passed. And so thank you for understanding the relationship between the number of Black members of Congress and the outcome, the legislative outcome.
And so let's talk about CBC's work, because obviously Ice Cube made the news recently for his conversation around a contract for Black America. It made the rounds in mainstream media. Nonetheless, Congressional Black Caucus made it clear we've been doing this work for some time. We appreciate the additional highlights, but we are working every day to make sure that Black America gets its just due. Can you talk about just some of the bullet points?
Yeah,
that CBC has done.
The Congressional Black Caucus was founded 50 years ago. We're going to have our 50th anniversary next year, founded in 1971. And I think one of the founders was Robert N.C. Nix from right there in Philadelphia, Nix Funeral Home. All of you know about that. He was one of the founding members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Starting with 13 members, we have just grown over the years. And these men and women down through the years have fought the fight. They have demanded legislation. They have done excellent work. They haven't gotten everything that they asked for, but they've gotten so much done over the years. And I've been proud to be part of the Congressional Black Caucus for the last 16 years, and we've gotten so much done. The most notable is the Affordable Care Act, for example. We've been able to provide affordable health care to millions of African Americans who were previously unemployed. We've expanded the Medicaid program in Pennsylvania. And because of that, we now provide insurance coverage, Medicaid coverage for low-income, healthy, childless adults. All of us have friends in Philadelphia who don't have children. They are low income, but they are healthy. They were not included in Medicaid prior to the Affordable Care Act, but now they are included. And so we've included a lot of good legislation over the years. And I can just go right on down support for HBCUs. Mm-hmm. Trump has the nerve to say that he has funded HBCUs. We have fought for HBCUs for the last 100 years. And the Congressional Black Caucus has done so for the last 50 years. We have 100 HBCUs across the country. Many of them are teetering on the edge of failure. And every year we continue to put more money into HBCUs. And so we know that if we have a strong system of HBCUs, then we will have a strong Black educated community.
Representative, there are many undecideds that are going to watch this broadcast, and they'll be sent this broadcast from voters who have already made up their minds. But to those who are sitting on the fence, what are your words from your heart to theirs about getting in the game and making sure that their voice is heard?
Look, it's a binary choice now. It's a choice between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or staying at home. Those are the choices that we have, my friends. There's a fundamental difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Trump sees the world from Park Avenue. Joe Biden sees the world from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and he talks about it all of the time. Joe Biden won't just bring us back to the way things were before Trump, because for too many, the good old days weren't so good to begin with. And so in this economic recovery, Joe Biden has committed himself that he will bring everyone along. He understands the African American community. He grew up in Scranton. He went over to Wilmington, where he grew a family. He worked in low-income African American communities in Wilmington, Delaware. He understands. He's comfortable with African Americans. He understands our plight, our destiny, understands our agenda. And I'm going to put my reputation on the line, and I'm sure that Dwight Evans and others will do the same. I am confident that Joe Biden will be one of the best presidents for Black America that we have ever seen before. That's why Barack Obama chose him as a running mate. as Barack said in Philadelphia the other day, they weren't the best of friends in the Senate,
right.
but they grew the relationship, and now they have nothing but love and respect for each other. Please give Joe Biden a chance to lead this country, because Black America needs fundamental change in our policies in the United States of America.
Broadcast audience, you have heard it from GK Butterfield, the Deputy Whip and past chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Please, by all means, do not sit on the sidelines. The facts have been presented before you. You now have all the information you need. What we now need you to do is let your voice be heard. Vote November 3rd. You are a shareholder in the largest corporation in the world, the United States of America. It's board meeting time. Make your voice heard. Rep, thank you so much for all that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Malik. And thank you for educating the community and being a voice. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.